I cannot make these things up, Your Honor.
It's clear that you will do anything to get at Mr. Sylvie.
It just confirms that he's taking pictures of my body. He's talking about me and my body to the kids. It's not appropriate. We're raising boys.
And so all of this is lies. She files the false police report. She involves the kid in it.
I'm going to interject. That has nothing to do with it.
Don't interrupt her. She did not interrupt you.
These things happened.
It never happened.
The children were upset.
All she's trying to do is create conflict.
This is crazy. Yes, you can make stuff up. You have made stuff up. You made stuff up to me. You made stuff up in the trial. Significant stuff.
Judge, I understand. I don't want to be here either. I understand where you're coming from.
There have been so many things that you have accused them of and done. You're not the parent?
I'm not.
This is absolute garbage. Garbage.
This is one of the most incredible cases that I've gone over on this channel. It's a little bit longer in duration, but trust me, it'll be worth it. But in short, the judge in this case is absolutely fed up with this woman. Now, this woman has had custody revoked from her previously due to her lying antics, and she apparently hasn't learned her lesson. The lies include the mother accusing the father of taking pictures of her body without her consent, as well as the father talking to the kids about the mother's body. And because of that, she wants the father put in contempt for these multiple violations. Put your seatbelts on for this one, buckle up, and let's get active. Without further ado, the two on the bottom are the mother and the father, and Samantha over here on the top right is the lawyer of the man. Let's go.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right. Yes. We're here on Sylvie v. Sylvie. It's case 9M. Both parties are present via Zoom. Ms. Van Tol is here representing the defendant, Mr. Sylvie. These are motions filed by the plaintiff mother. There are a couple of them, and I kind of try to deal with them in order. The first motion is really says wants clarification of the order or exchanges when a child is sick. Is in essence what it is. Miss Sylvie, that was your motion on the first one. Is that correct?
That was the most recent one that I filed.
Yeah, I said that's the one, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything you want to briefly add? I mean, I'm not going to micromanage this case, but I'll let you say something if you want. This would be like saying, well, if the child's got 103 temperature, does he go with his mom? If he's got sniffles, does he go with his mom? I'm just not going to micromanage this case. So what do you want? There are times that you're supposed to pick them up. If they are not there when they're supposed to be, you file a complaint with a friend of the court for parenting time violation.
Yes, sir. I just wanted clarification that when the kids are sick, that's what we should do. There was a lot of correspondence with the defendant. It just was causing a lot of extra stress and unnecessary issues. And then,
but I'm saying I'm not going to micromanage that. There are times, and if your child's sick, I assume you know it. And this is just stuff parents have to do. I'm not going to tell you if he has 102 temperature that he doesn't have to go, or what time it is. The order's the order.
Okay.
Ms. Van Tol, I don't know why you'd want to say anything on this, but you can if you want briefly.
I don't need to weigh in, Your Honor. Thank you.
Right.
Let me weigh in for you, Samantha. You guys are already beginning to see the absolute ridiculousness of this grown Karen with a childlike bow within her hair. The expectation to utilize the court's time for that degree of micromanagement is absolutely fundamentally absurd, but let's listen to more.
All right. That was the first motion, as I understand it. Was there anything else that you really wanted in that, ma'am?
In terms of sick.
That was just a request for a clear order to exchange when the minor child is sick or no school. We dealt with that one. And
yes, sir.
That's out. Okay. Then the second one is motion for to show cause and clarification. And this lists a whole bunch of things that you want me to go through. What specifically do you believe I need to show cause him on or find him in contempt of court? You listed stuff like parenting time, extracurricular activities, things like that. Misuse of our family wizard, using other modes of communication like email. impersonating children on the cell phone or social media, which I don't know how you know that, taking pictures of you and speaking negatively about you. Those are some of the things you've asked for and to hold him in contempt for. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir. There were 3 occasions. He showed up after school during my parenting time.
Did he
And
interfere?
yes, Your Honor.
In what way?
He told minor children.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to any hearsay.
I don't let her just say stuff. I'm not necessarily whether it's true or not. He told the minor children, you're saying?
He told Jude not to get in the car with me or else he will be punished.
Was it a parenting time, you're saying, and he told him that, and Jude got in the car with you anyway, or what?
Yes, Jude got in the car with me. He was very upset. It affected, it's affecting his schoolwork. We have an order that we cannot be at school or extracurricular activities on the other's parenting time. He showed up 3 times after school at dismissal to pick up Jude when I've been picking him up from school for the last.
And I understand, Ms. Van Tol, didn't you say he was at the school, did not interfere? He was there to make sure that the children got picked up or something?
So, Your Honor, if you will recall in my response, all I indicated was there was no clear definition of what pickup time would have been. Ultimately, what the court had indicated in the order was it was an evening. It was an after school in the evening or as early as 3 p.m. So Jude ended up getting out of school before 3. We've had substantial issues with Miss Sylvie getting homework done. My client desired to not have Jude go straight to Miss Sylvie's house. So he was going to pick up. They had a whole OFW exchange related to this. It never got really resolved. All Miss Sylvie did was basically ignore what Mr. Sylvie was asking, which was, where in the order does it say you can pick up before 3? And who is picking up because you work after 3? And so she wouldn't respond to those. So yes, he did go to the school. He did not interfere. He didn't step out of his car.
What time was he there? What time was he there?
Like 2:40 when the school releases.
Okay.
And he did not interfere with parenting time. He didn't go by her car.
And so when was Miss Sylvie there also?
I believe on every occasion, I can't really recall, Your Honor. Again, these things have been happening since the beginning of the school year, but my client stopped going to the school after basically we just said, listen, if it's going to be after school, it's going to be after school. Fine. She needs to be responsible for homework. We brought that issue before Judge Hillary. So there was no interference at all. And the order that Miss Sylvie is referencing does not state what she indicates. It's the order that the judge had related to her attending extracurricular activities with the children. It has, my client was not violating that court order. I could read it into the record. It's not a violation.
Now, if it wasn't for the blinking that the father is doing, you would think that this is a damn picture. He's not raising an eyebrow. He's not shaking his head. No, he's allowing his lawyer to speak for him. Allowing the attorney to pop off while he just sits there means that this is a great attorney, and it's just awesome to see. It's going to turn up here in a quick second. Let's go.
All right. I don't really find that causes much problem. If she was there at 2:40, he was there at 2:40, not known for sure, didn't interfere. It's his testimony that he didn't interfere. The child went with the mother, end of story.
Yes, that's what happened.
Okay. Even though he talked to the children, talked to Jude.
Oh, good Lord, he talked to the children?
How dare you?
The order states both parties. It's not just.
I'm telling you, he went there a couple times to make sure things went. He hasn't. When was the last time he was there?
Mr. Sylvie, can you report that?
Mr.
Your Honor, it would have been mid-September to late September. I don't remember when that would be. The order does not say anything about school.
So anyway.
But mind you, again, she's throwing out these accusations in an attempt for him to get in contempt of court, which may lead to jail time. That is a level of Karen and pettiness that the world has never known. But the pettiness gets worse.
The pickup is at school. She's been picking him up at school. All's well that ends well, right?
That's what's happening. I don't know that it's going
All right.
well, but yes, that's what's happening.
What's your next one, ma'am? What's
Mr. Sylvie sent me a text message from our son's phone as he was Jude, our son, telling me that I need to wear a whole shirt when I pick them up for exchanges.
What exhibit is that?
That is
Did you do that, Mr. Sylvie?
Your Honor,
Not he describes.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that was exhibit 12.
Exhibit 12. Look at this from Matt on 9/29. Hey, Jude Bug, look at this. It's finally done. I've read all these things ad nauseum. Can you show your brother too? Oh man, we aren't friends on Snapchat anymore.
That was from the defendant, and then the following one was from the defendant.
Put on a whole shirt when you pick us up at school exchanges as we are in public. Sir, did you use that phone and make those? Or Miss Van Tol, did he do that?
thank you. Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So my client did send those messages, Your Honor. The issue really is this has been a longstanding problem. Mr. Sylvie purchased a cell phone for Jude. Jude
I'm
was
going to
bringing it.
interject. That has nothing to do with
Don't
the
interrupt
everything
her.
to
She
do-
did not interrupt you. Go.
I just want you to have the history here because this is why it's relevant.
I have so much history on.
Judge, I understand. I don't want to be here either. I understand where you're coming from. But so the cell phone my client bought for Jude was going back and forth. Mom said, Jude's not allowed to bring the cell phone to my house anymore. Then my client said, well, then don't contact him on it. She had purchased a cell phone for Jude. My client said, don't bring it to my house. If that's what we're going to do, then the kids are going to have different cell phones at different residences. So what happened was, she was continuously contacting Jude, as you can see in the exhibits, on this cell phone. My client found it when he was looking through stuff. He did message her so that she would know that he knew. There was no way that she would think that was Jude. My client really wasn't attempting to be Jude. He was trying to let her know that was happening. Obviously, as we go through this, you'll see that Sina has been working with Jude to hide the cell phone from her house and his home so she can continue to communicate with him after he's supposed to be in bed, causing him to do poorly in school. This is just a cycle of constant
He's
stuff.
asked for is the return of the phone, which I don't know why I'd return a phone that he's not even supposed to have over there in the first place.
Well, honestly, my client had no idea where this came from. The first note that he knew that this was Sina's cell phone was through this motion. She never asked him saying, hey, this is the cell phone for my house that Jude is using here. My client looked at that cell phone. Your Honor, I should let the court know there is no parental controls on there. He does have it. If the court's going to order that he provide it to Miss Sylvie, then it needs to not ever come back to his home. It's not to be in his house. He can't monitor it.
I'll go to this point right now, ma'am. You provided a cell phone to Jude?
Yes. And
you sent it to his house?
No. It's Jude's.
How did it get there?
It's Jude's phone. Jude knows that if he's going to take that, which he just started taking that in September, October. This is a different cell phone, though. The message is,
you provided it to him, and then you've got him hiding it at Dad's house.
No, Your Honor, that is not true. Jude is responsible. We had a conversation. If he was going to take that phone, he needed to talk to Dad about it. I am not responsible for a conversation that he chose not to have. I never told him to hide the phone. That's not appropriate. I would not do that.
Why would you give him a phone when he has a phone that Mr. Sylvie had?
First off, saying that you're not responsible for something that your adolescent child has done as a parent is absolutely nasty work. It begins to paint a larger picture of the type of woman that we are dealing with. Second point, whatever this brother is paying this attorney is 1,000% worth it. She's able to explain things so accurately, so detailed, while also continuing to paint a dirty little picture regarding the opposition.
So the phone is for my parenting time. So I agree with what Ms. Van Tol says. If there is a cell phone, we should both have access to parental controls. In February of this past year, Matt would not allow me to have access to the phone from his house. So if Jude brings a phone from the defendant's house or from Matt's house to my parenting time, I should also have access to see like what apps he has, if it's my parenting time.
I'm lost here, and maybe it's me, but if Mr. Sylvie provides a phone to Jude and he brings it to your house, which he does, and then you prohibited him from taking it there anymore.
Yes,
Why would you do that?
because if it's my parenting time, I should have access to parental controls and to see what apps he has access to.
He's got the phone with him. Why can't you say, can I see your phone for a minute?
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, the pathological liar's lies are beginning to catch up with her. I think that this woman needs a psych evaluation ASAP. She's off balance, and she's proving it.
I don't know. I guess.
Why can't you ask your? I mean, it's like it's not kept away from you. You know he's got a phone. What parent doesn't just say, "Hey, let me see your phone"? I had kids. They don't own the phone, but instead you prohibit him from bringing it.
Yes, there's also been text messages from Matt to Jude that have interfered with like family functions, and the way that they communicate, it impacts Jude. So if they're communicating in a negative way,
That you don't want him to have the phone then.
no. If I don't have access to
You're
any
talking in circles because you got access to the phone when Jude has the phone at your house, even though it's provided by Mr. Sylvie. You can take it away from him if you want. You can look at it if you want. Instead, you prohibited him from bringing it, so that I don't understand why. This is just bizarre to me, of why he wouldn't. So instead, you say you can't bring it anymore. I'm going to give you a phone that you can have, and apparently he was hiding it from Mr. Sylvie. And you were talking to him at all hours of the night.
So we do not text. We don't text on that phone. Jude will find any way to communicate with me. It doesn't have to be with a cell phone. Like he communicates with his friends on other apps that he has access to.
I don't. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Let me help you out, Judge. By the way, I love the way that you're handling this, but I do think it's funny that you're handling this case as if you are a grandfather laying down the law to your granddaughter. But her story's not making sense to you because what she's doing is she's prioritizing the hate for the father over the love for the children. See, the reasoning for those actions is because she despises the father, but she can't say that. So she's trying to make it make sense of how it was beneficial for the children, but it was never beneficial for the children. That's why it doesn't make sense. Let's go.
Because he had a cell phone that he could have used. One cell phone he could have used back and forth until you prohibited him from doing it.
Right. But if I don't have the same access to controls or location, it's not equitable.
You have access to controls and location when he's at your house. He's not, you got it there. You can take it from him. Mr. Sylvie has access and control when he's with him. Right?
Yes.
I love a judge that
You're
stays
talking
on
in
business.
circles here. He should have one phone that he could have used, but then you got to the point because you didn't. I don't know what. I don't know what you didn't like about it. You didn't want him bringing it there. Isn't that correct, Ms. Van Tol?
That's correct, Your Honor. She had kept accusing Mr. Sylvie of spying on her, and that was not the case. It is just, this whole thing is just.
I don't even know how he spies on you because dude's got a phone.
He doesn't. It's just paranoia.
Well, I'm asking Ms. Sylvie. I don't
She needs
even
a psyche
understand
valve.
it. Jude's got the phone.
Schizophrenic.
Yes, Jude has the phone. If I don't have parental control or access to anything on the phone, but Mr. Sylvie does, that's not equitable.
Why don't you have any parental controls when he's at your house? You
Because
can literally take it from Jude and as punishment if you want or something.
Yeah.
Why is it that you think and so then you decide you're going to have something and send it with him? This is crazy.
It's so
Your Honor,
crazy.
I never sent the phone with Jude. I am not responsible for a 14-year-old and what he
Wait a minute.
takes.
Did he leave the house with the phone?
Yes, I can't check his pockets. It's not reasonable. And also
Aren't you his parent?
I say to him, if you take the phone, you have to have a conversation with
Did you
Dad.
ask him when he left, are you taking the phone?
No.
And why not? You're not the parent?
I'm
Ma'am.
not,
Man,
I-
this is absolute garbage.
It's not rocket science.
Garbage. He leaves, he goes, and you say, gee, I don't know whether or not he's got the phone or not. I don't care what he does and that kind of stuff. You know, he talks to you from his house on the phone. So how do you not know that he's got the phone?
Your Honor, because he doesn't use the phone to text, or if we communicate, he could use the Xbox or a different application on his computer. Your Honor, I told him if he takes the phone, he has to have a conversation. He didn't take the phone when I got it for him back in March. That did not start happening until September.
Ms. Van Tol, anything you want to add on this?
Your Honor, I just think it is completely ridiculous that she is knowingly allowed this child to have the phone at my client's house, knowing that she said my client can have Jude can't have his cell phone from my client's house at her house. It's just bizarre. I don't understand it. All she's trying to do is create conflict.
Mhm.
It seems to me like she is working with Jude. Jude's not a messenger here. If Sina knows that Jude's bringing that cell phone to Matt's house, it is her job to tell Matt that, because they've already had this conversation where she said Matt's cell phone couldn't be at her house, and Matt said then vice versa. If you're going to get him a cell phone, it's not going to be at my house. She knew that conversation happened. Jude's not the messenger. She was responsible for making sure Matt knew that that cell phone was in his house so that he could do what a parent should and monitor the use.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Just like if the phone was going to her house and Matt had given it to him, she could monitor that phone.
100%, but Matt didn't know the cell phone was there, so he had no idea what was going on, and that is inappropriate. And it puts him and Jude in a position to have conflict, and it is Sina's goal to have this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And ma'am, you're giving up just saying, well, I didn't know. You know you're communicating with him. You know he had it. You know you bought it for him. You know that he was taking it there because he didn't leave it obviously at home. You didn't go so far as to say, are you taking it? Because I don't know, you don't feel that that's your responsibility, and it is. End of story. That is again something that I don't know what to do. But you want this cell phone back, ma'am? Is that what you're saying?
That would be nice for my parenting time so that I have access to the kids.
For your parenting time? Well, it would be nice if there was one cell phone.
I agree.
And it can be Mr. Sylvie allows Jude to have his phone and sends it back and forth. Because I don't know why that can't happen. If there's no reason for it. Can you give me any reason why Jude should not have one cell phone?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, no. I do not have a reason.
It is a pathetic waste of the court's time to continue to go through baby situations like this. This woman has said multiple times that she's not responsible for her 14-year-old. With this cell phone crap that she made up, she's trying to pit the kids against the father. What this woman doesn't understand is that the sons will grow up and despise her. They're at the age right now where they can formulate their own thoughts, and they see what you're doing. Don't you care about that? Or is your hate for your ex that great?
Ms. Van Tol, you believe Jude should have one cell phone and it can go back and forth with him?
I think that was the goal originally. I don't know what Mr. Sylvie's position is now. He definitely doesn't want her taking parental controls off the phone. So if she's going to be on it, I know
understood, but she doesn't have him that long so when he comes home, he can check and see that the parental controls are still on.
That's true. He can do that. Matt, are you good with
and if
that?
he finds out that she's taking all parental controls off, I'm sure he will inform you, and that won't go good because there needs to be parental controls on every kid's phone.
That's correct. Yes. Okay. And Matt's fine with that. That's fine. That's what was the goal in the first place. I'm really not sure why there's two, obviously.
So what do we do with the second one? It should be not in Jude's control at any point. It should be shut off. Shut it off.
I would like an order saying that is not to go to my client's house again. This cell phone, it's again, it was secretively being done. I'm not really sure.
It is not to go to your client's house, and both, ma'am, you're going to be responsible and make sure it doesn't.
All right, I understand.
Be a parent.
I would like to address that I am blocked from that phone. So if that phone does come to my house, my number needs to be unblocked so that I can reach the children or Jude on my parenting time.
That's absolutely fine, Your Honor. That is absolutely reasonable.
All right. There's an agreement right there. The one phone should have access to everybody. All right. Settled that. What else do we need?
We didn't settle that text message that was sent to me from Jude's phone from Matt's house.
What do you want for that?
That's not appropriate.
What do you want? Don't do that ever again, Mr. Sylvie. Because now you only have one phone that's going to go back and forth. And if you contact her on Jude's phone, you better make sure that she knows it's you. There you go.
So the phone, and then also any social media apps. There's another message that that Matt used as Jude that he sent to me. So the phone and any apps that belong to Jude.
Ms. Van,
He did not try to indicate that he was Jude on that app, but that's fine. At the end of the day, again, it was because she was communicating. She knew that she wasn't supposed to be. And ultimately, again, we understand it won't happen again. It'll be an OFW message if we need to.
You can put that in the order, Ms. Van Tol.
Yep.
What else you want?
That Matt stopped taking pictures of what I'm wearing and telling the children that it's his job to report to the authorities how I dress, and that is not appropriate.
His job to report to the authorities?
Yes, so that I need to be held accountable for how I dress.
Yes. Jesus. All right, Ms. Van Tol, what's this?
It never happened. Here's a huge problem. So on October 13th, I believe it was the date, Miss Sylvie picked up the kids. My client records as usual because he doesn't trust Miss Sylvie at all.
Good.
As Jude was getting out of the car, he saw my client recording her. Now he has dash cam, so this will never happen again. This is the way that we've resolved this issue. And Sina made a whole scene about it, created an entire false scenario about what happened, claimed that my client was chasing her or trying to approach her. That never happened. They were at a location where there's no cameras. My client tried to get video. They didn't have it, whatever. In any event, she then takes the kids to the police station, has Jude report falsely to the police officers what a statement my client made that he never made. And then she goes and files a false PPO on these same allegations that gets denied by the court. She claims in the police report, I know the court doesn't have it, but that my client had sent her a message at the time she was at the police station about her attire. Never happened. You will not find a single message related to that to Sina on that date at all. And so all of this is lies. She files the false police report. She involves the kid in it.
So
Jude,
crazy.
Obviously, Noah is not as manipulated as Jude. And Sina's really got her claws into Jude, unfortunately. But she used Jude to make a false statement to the police. And that's what she's relying on to continuously report false statements to this court. It never happened. That did not happen, and it will never happen again. And Sina won't be able to claim it because now we have dash cameras, and we are taking all of our exchanges at the public museum where there's a camera. So this will never occur again. So Sina cannot make these comments ever again.
All right.
I agree with the on-screen comments. If this entire story is fabricated, and listen, all she has to do is to produce some evidence that he sent her the message, and at least a component of the story is true. But if this entire thing is made up, she is unfit to be a parent.
Your Honor.
Yes.
These things happened. The children were upset. The children asked me, you're not going to believe me. The children asked Matt why he's always taking pictures of me. And that
the children asked Matt. You weren't there.
I know, but the kids told me that he takes pictures of how I dress, but then I get that that message,
Show the
it
message.
just confirms that he's taking pictures of my body. He's talking about me and my body to the kids. It's not appropriate. We're raising boys. I cannot make these things up, Your Honor.
And you can make them up, and you've made up a lot of stuff to the court in the past.
I know, but things changed in August.
I know. I made up a lot of things within the past, but things change. I'll just stop lying all of the goddamn time. Just believe me this time, please. I promise you, this one, as ridiculous as what it sounds, is the first real story. Now, what's funny within that is that before she began to lie again, she says out loud what is true, which is, Judge, you will not believe me. Because she knows that she is lying. Show one piece of evidence that this stuff is happening, and maybe you'll get the judge on your side. But it's so damn refreshing to watch a judge stand on business and call out this ridiculousness.
I know, but things changed in August.
I have no reason. I just want Matt to be held to the same standard that I am.
Matt has gone so out of the way because of all the difficulties that have clearly occurred. I can go all the way to the beginning when the judgment of divorce was there, and you were supposed to provide items to Matt, and they were damaged by you when you sent them out there. We ended up not having a hearing. I can go all the way back when you said, no, I didn't damage him, but it was clear you had, all the way to the hearings that we've had and whatnot. And I don't know how you expect me to just forget everything that's gone on, as well as with Judge Hillary. I've talked to Judge Hillary too. I mean, we both had this case over and over and over again. I don't know that Matt is taking pictures of you for some unknown reason, other than at parenting time exchanges, because everything is such a mess. Things do not occur the way adults should have them. All right. Just like you asking for, I got to figure out what to do if a child is sick or something, and I can't tell you how, yes, you can make stuff up. You have made stuff up. You made stuff up to me. You made stuff up in the trial, significant stuff. You did stuff that was over and above decency with him. You lost custody because of it. Then I understand you just lost legal custody. You can come back maybe, but this doesn't show that you guys are going to ever get along. This is obviously a negative towards you ever getting legal custody. And some of these things like the phone and stuff that are just outrageous. They're outrageous to the point where you can't even justify them. And I don't understand what you think. I really don't. He needs to get a dash cam to prevent things happening, and needs to do that at a location where there are cameras and everything. And I do believe he needs it. And he's going to pay for all that because he needs it, because you are always trying to push the envelope.
Your Honor, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I am not making up excuses. It's all there in OFW. The way that we communicate, it's not working. The issue.
You guys hardly ever communicate.
It's so crazy to me that she ignores everything that he is saying and that just shifts the conversation to something else that has nothing to do with right. But that's what happens when you have a master's degree in no accountability with some pathological liar sprinkled on top of that. A teacher losing legal custody of her children should be enough information to let you guys know. But instead, she wants to drown the father, Matt, in court hearing after court hearing while pretending as if he's a bad, not only father, but just person. Shout out again to Matt for keeping the Stonewall face throughout this. And shout out to the judge for recognizing the bullshit and holding her accountable for her psychotic behavior. Instead of being a loving, supporting, encouraging mother, she's being a terrorist. She's being an insurgent. traumatizing these children beyond reproach, and their relationship gonna suffer because of it. Guys, drop me your comments down in the comment box down below. What did you guys think about this particular court case? Want me to continue to go over court case? Let me know in the comment box as well. And also check out the playlist on the channel. I have a whole playlist of court cases that you can get wrapped up in. And if I have any other future updates regarding this case, I'm gonna bring it up right here. Until next time, YouTube.